Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a closer look at a really powerful historical list. One that seems like just a roll call at first glance, but, well, it tells us so much more. We're digging into excerpts from Duryodhana's Mighty Warriors, an analysis of strength and loyalty. We're focusing specifically on Chapter 1, verses 8 and 9. And our mission, really, is to explore what these verses tell us about, strength, loyalty, or maybe perceived loyalty, and the whole foundation of power at this critical moment. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here is this isn't just some basic list of who's on the team. Right from the start, you can see this is a strategic move by Duryodhana. It's him publicly declaring who he believes is standing with him and the immediate impact. It's clearly meant to, well, overwhelm, to give this sense of absolute power.
Right. So when you look at these specific verses, who are the main figures he actually points out?
Yeah.
And what does that choice tell us about the kind of image he's trying to build?
Well, he starts by talking directly to his teacher, doesn't he? Dronacharya, his martial arts guru. Then he brings up Bhishma, the grandsire, a huge figure respected by, well, everyone really, and Karna, of course. Unmatched with his bow, as the text says, a fearsome warrior. Then you've got Kripa, known for being wise and skilled. Ashwatthama, who's Drona's son, right, plus his own brother Karna and Bharushrava. It's a very calculated list, you see, naming the absolute kind of heavy hitters. It really frames the kind of formidable force he thinks he has.
It really does. I mean, you can just imagine hearing that list if you were on the opposing side. It must have been meant to sound, well, terrifying. But what's the key thing here beyond just how strong they are individually?
Yeah, it's not just about raw power. I think the analysis points this out quite clearly. Duryodhana is strategically claiming unwavering loyalty. That's the crucial bit. He's basically saying, these amazing warriors, they're ready to fight for me. The text notes he lists them not just in strength, but in loyalty. That's the real power play, isn't it?
That definitely adds another dimension.
Yeah.
Because then he finishes up by saying something like, and many other brave heroes, fully armed and skilled, ready to give up their lives for my sake. So he's not just naming the stars. He's claiming the entire army, every single person, is devoted to him, ready to die for him. It's like, picture a sports team where every player isn't just good, but totally, completely dedicated to the captain. That's the image Duryodhana seems to believe he's presenting.
Exactly. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, it really speaks volumes about a leader's need to project that image, that image of unshakable support, especially when you're facing a serious enemy. He's definitely trying to boost his own confidence, yeah, but probably also trying to plant seeds of doubt and maybe fear in the other camp. So it's like a psychological tactic just as much as it is counting his troops. It's all about projecting this perceived strength built on this declaration of commitment from his best warriors. And, well, everyone else, he says, is ready to die for him.
That's a really interesting angle, the psychological aspect. But, okay, if it's mainly about projection, does that hint at maybe some insecurity underneath it all? Is he trying to convince himself just as much as anyone else?
That's exactly the question this kind of deep dive pushes us towards, isn't it? Because, while Duryodhana is very confidently listing off the strength, the loyalty, the names, the numbers, their supposed readiness to die for him, the source material offers something, well, deeper, a more profound insight. It sort of reminds us that real strength isn't just about a fancy roster or, having the most soldiers. It's fundamentally linked to the purpose behind the fight. Even the strongest army, the text suggests, is lost if its heart, its core motivation is weak.
So what does this all mean? Where does that leave us thinking about this beyond just, the ancient battlefield?
Yeah. Well, this leads us to a really critical question the text kind of nudges us towards with a metaphor. It asks, essentially, what happens when loyalty is based on ego, not dharma? And dharma here, just to clarify, refers to things like righteous conduct, moral duty, a higher purpose, loyalty based on principle, not just self-interest or pleasing the boss. So yeah, this whole discussion really highlights the difference between putting on a big show of strength and what a true, solid foundational strength actually looks like.
That's a really powerful thought to leave you, the listener, with. Duryodhana has named his army. He's laid it all out. But is he secure? Or is he scared? It's worth thinking about how that question, that tension, might play out even today in situations far removed from this ancient text.